You lying whore.
Well, that was exciting.
You gotta deal with whores, you know?
Jim, this is the JARCAST episode 92. What?
92 goes into...
What?
What does 92 go into? It's like it's quick maths.
10?
Okay, what's our first topic of today?
James isn't here again. Or is he?
Maybe in
You know
spirit,
what I mean?
but he's definitely not here in his physical form.
No, I see what you did there. No, I didn't.
I didn't do anything. If you miss James, type in the comments below, Bazinga Bo Bazinga, I miss you, but James.
No, say if you miss James, type in the comments that you miss Ruben. Ruben should be back soon, by the way. He told me to say that he's hyped. And we're all very hyped and we're very excited.
There's finally going to be a J, an A, and an R.
Finally.
At least.
Because currently the A's have been sort of dominating. The A's and the J's.
Yeah, the A's and J's have been...
We got one R, unfortunately.
Actually, this episode it's been dominated by A's.
Oh yeah, you've got an A in your name.
Well, I was thinking Argy, but...
I have a really amazing topic to talk about.
Okay, go on.
It's the name of it's the topic. It's the name of the show. Do you know what that is?
JARCAST.
Don't be a comedian, Jim. Well, do be a comedian because this is a very funny comedic show.
I'm here.
But don't be a sarcastic son.
What? Come on, give me a question.
No,
boy.
it's not a question. It's the topic. I'm just getting it up now. Because of course this episode is called Keemstar Loves Minions.
Oh.
I didn't tell you what it was,
No.
did I? So I tweeted. I don't know if you saw it. A picture of the Mario movie.
Directed by the Minion dudes.
Yeah, Minion Studio reportedly making Mario Bros movie.
Yep.
So I tweeted, well, you can forget about that movie being good then. To which Keemstar himself, the man, the myth, the legend, who released a music video recently you loved.
That music video was fucking ace.
Yeah, boy. To which he replied, the Minion movies are good? ? To which I replied, I hope you were joking, Keemstar.
Uh-huh.
To which he replied again, I'm not, full stop. They are good. So good, they have made 3 or 4 by now. To which I replied, they've made 5 Transformers movies, 5 Terminator movies, 5 Pirates of the Caribbean movies, 5 Alien movies, 4 billion Underworld and Resident Evil movies, and they were all great too. Then he replied, you just listed a bunch of movies that were mega hits. I'm confused. To which I finally said, being a financial success doesn't equate to a well-made piece of media necessarily on its own, Keem. All it means is that it made a lot of investors very rich. Nothing more.
That went really serious.
The tone did, yeah. I didn't mean it that seriously. What do you think about that, Jim?
You said it seriously. I think it's kind of funny. I mean,
It is funny.
Keemstar has kids, right?
He has a kid, yeah.
Okay, he's got a kid, which
He got child.
he got.
He needs to protect child. He needs to protect what child own. He needs to protect what child like. You imagine Keem sitting down on a Friday night. Come on, daughter. What do you want to
But the
watch?
thing is, Keem isn't like the sharpest intellect.
Jim.
What?
It's not that. It's just he's an American. You know, they love money. A lot of things equate money to worth.
Worth doesn't mean good, though.
No, but you don't understand. It does. In Keemstar's mind.
Yeah, and like I just said, he's not the sharpest intellect. He's not the
Listen, he voted for Donald Trump. And he loves Minions. We love you, Keem.
I like him. His music video is fucking top dollar. What is it Dad always says? Bumper. That music video is bumper. That's a fucking bumper ass
It
music
pisses me off that like so many people dislike it.
I know. Just actually watch the video
It's funny.
and laugh because it is funny.
It's like the only one of these stupid goddamn YouTubers who are doing music.
like diss track
bad.
music
Diss
as well
track
because it is
things.
essentially a diss
He's just
track.
having fun, just having a goof and a gaff.
He's having a mighty
You know?
goof.
He's just pissing around, making fun of Leafy in the process. Just
I've
Just
got my
funny.
Yeezys on in the woods.
yeah, it's just silly, and actually embraces the silliness, which I appreciate.
Thank you, Keem.
Thank you, Keem.
Top of the tip of the
Top of the morning to your Keem.
top of the morning.
Top
to
of the
you.
minion to your Keem. So as was the sayings, Keemstar sitting down to watch. Let's roleplay. I'll be Keemstar. You be his daughter. Ready? Hey, honey. Sorry, I gotta find my Keem voice. Hey, honey.
Yes, father.
What movie do you want to watch?
Minion's father.
Oh, that would have been a good name as well. Minion's father. Which one? Minion 1, 2, 3, or Despicable Me 1, 2, or 3?
Minion 2 father.
That would have been good as well. Minion 2 father. Well, I hear they're great movies because they made a lot of money.
They great movies.
Do you care
Father.
about that, daughter?
No.
Summarizes it all, really, to be honest.
Yeah, we defeated Keemstar with that one. I'd like to see him make a diss
We exposed
track.
him, basically.
He's been exposed.
The
and
JARCAST exposed Killer Keemstar
with a
DJ Killer
with a
Keemstar.
roleplay diss track.
with the roleplay diss track. We're breaking new ground here at... What are we called again?
Newgrounds.
Newgrounds.
What's up, guys? Newgrounds
Jim,
here.
you have a topic we need to talk about.
This topic is topical, as you could say, because it's been in the news and stuff recently. It's like, I mean, everyone knows about it. It's quite a big deal.
What the...
Yeah.
Okay, explain.
So, we've all heard of Space Jam.
Of course, we're all born in the 90s. We're all 90s kids.
We've all heard of Monsters vs. Aliens.
All of us. And Wallace and Gromit.
We've definitely all heard of Wallace and Gromit, but Alex, let me ask you a question. What's one thing these movies were missing?
A way of sort of tracking the fairness of the battles. You know, like a way to measure accurately who is winning in a mathematical sense. If there is a
Exactly.
battle going on, if there is a conflict going on, we need a visual way to see. You know what I mean?
And what's the best way you can visually display somebody's health?
Some kind of bar?
A kind of bar that depletes
A health bar.
as a health bar. Exactly. Now, those three movies I just mentioned, what do they all have now thanks to
The brilliance of YouTube, the imagination of YouTube community.
the YouTube community? Now these movies have health bars. So, for example, when Wallace is running around putting tracks down,
You mean
Zoom-
Gromit?
Gromit is running around putting tracks down so he can zoom around.
Infinite tracks.
Wallace is bouncing around and zooming around, and the penguin's blasting at
Yeah.
Gromit. Now we can see who's truly got the upper hand in this battle.
Well, the one I found really interesting was in Monsters in Monsters vs. Aliens. There's a bridge scene where they're having a big battle with a robot alien.
Yep.
And I always wondered in that scene how certain actions made sense
Yeah.
because the damage wasn't known previously.
Well, exactly. The thing is, especially with a team like uneven teams, you've got how many monsters are in Monsters vs. Aliens? It's like
5, 6.
5 versus 1 alien. Or an alien machine.
An alien robot.
Alien robot, yeah. And so how are we supposed to keep track of all these people and how they're doing physically.
How much damage are they taking? Realistically,
Damage are they taking? But the thing you have to take into consideration is the accumulative health bars, the health pool. So you can properly know who's winning the battle and how they end up winning the battle. Because even if every single person on the team has taken damage, their health pool might still be larger.
I found it really interesting in the Space Jam one how in that one, because there were so many characters in that scene, the health bars just filled the whole screen.
Yeah.
You couldn't see what the actual what was
Also,
happening.
like 5 of the characters, which probably definitely got damaged, didn't have any damage.
that was too much effort to change the PNG of their health. So
Yeah.
fully explain what we're talking about.
Well, we were just going through YouTube, watching some Sonic fanfics, Mario fanfics, Sonic.
We
and
watched this
Mario
animation, this Sonic animation.
If an animation has Mario in it, it has Sonic in it. If an animation has Sonic in it, it has Mario. It's fucking bizarre.
They're married.
Yeah. Until in the one that we watched where Sonic died, I guess death did them part.
But Mario was at Sonic's funeral, though.
Yeah.
And like it was 50 different Sonic characters all screaming
Yeah.
and crying with tears running down their face. But yeah, somehow we just stumbled across. Which one was it? Which one was it
The
first?
first one was the Monsters vs. Aliens.
Monsters vs. Aliens bridge scene with health bars, something like that.
It wasn't just bridge scene, it was the whole like city scene. Because she's skating around using cars as roller skates.
Yeah, yeah. And she takes a bit of damage here and there, and you get to see it visually.
And then she gets to the bridge.
I'm,
I mean, someone has gone into some effort to do that. Like, not a lot, but some. And he's like come up with this concept that's like so unnecessary. And it doesn't add anything to the scene of the movie.
Nope.
If anything, it takes away from the scene of the movie.
Yeah, because you're just looking at this stupid health bar, like.
You're looking at the scene of the movie, but there's just things in the corner, slightly distracting you. Well, in the first one we watched, when she first took damage, I said, "Ha, look, she took damage," and you didn't.
I didn't even notice because I was just watching Monsters vs. Aliens on YouTube. What a bizarre concept! The internet keeps finding new ways to astound
To
me.
innovate.
And it wasn't just one video. It wasn't just 2. We're talking
He's done
Avengers
every
Civil
movie that
War
exists.
fight. He's done. What else was there? Just all sorts. Wallace and Gromit, Curse the Were-Rabbit.
He did 2 Wallace and Gromit ones.
With health bars.
No, 3 Wallace and
Lots
Gromit
of Star Wars ones I noticed.
ones. Oh yeah.
Which is actually quite a good one because, you know, in one of the Plinkett Star Wars reviews, he does the same joke.
Does he?
He puts video
he
game
does,
health
yeah.
bar because it is like a video game.
The thing is, the health bar thing for movies makes no sense. Because, for example, the first one we watched, normally the villain has the advantage the entire fight until the protagonist does one thing.
Yeah, because that's how you have to write a scene.
Well,
it's not like a video game.
That's the only way you can have tension, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They have to lose and then win.
Yeah.
You can't just go in win.
That's how you root for them. But so the health bars are completely pointless because they've all taken damage on the left, but nobody has on the right. But then suddenly all of their health just goes away because of the one thing that the protagonist did. Like, just doesn't make sense.
So that's the kind of thing you should probably be checking out.
Yeah, we'll have a link to all those types of channels in the comments below because our fans love helping out
They do love helping out.
the other fans.
And if you've got this far, make sure you comment on our health.
Yeah. Somebody upload this whole podcast but with health bars.
Why don't we do it? Why don't we have health?
Well, because then what's the point of like? There's always meant to be an original, then one with health bars. Unless you want to upload 2 of the same podcast but one with health bars.
That would be quite funny to upload the same video in a couple of days.
Same,
but with
like,
health
just the
bars.
same day at the same time.
Really confusing though. So let's head over to little Ditty Town. Let's sprint over like Mario running to Sonic's grave to Reddit for some hilarious questions.
Okay.
Argy wasn't injured in the intro, by the way.
Yeah, he was absolutely fine, and if anything,
He was ready for a battle.
He was ready to just have some playful fighting scenarios.
Cheeses Ingot says, when will jar merchandise be available to purchase? Because I would for seriously buy a shirt with Dick the Head on it, or a shirt that said, does somebody say Cholos? P.S. I can't wait until Ruben is back. Yeah, alright. We're here.
Yeah, I know.
We're actually
Where's
here.
our love?
But yeah, everyone's like, ooh.
The squeaky wheel always gets the oil, Alex. And we ain't squeaking.
Or more in this case, the 6'3" mixed race wheel.
Why'd you bring identity politics into this?
Let me just double check there's not more of this question. I miss hearing a Christian's point of view on certain subjects. Well,
That's an old meme. Jesus.
Must be an OG Jarling.
More like an OJ.
Simpson. Murderer.
How did you miss that?
This is covering like my peripheral vision.
Well, this is covering my vision.
Oh, have it.
What was the question again?
I don't know. Something about
Alright,
cholos.
Oh, jar merch. Yeah, Alex, when are you doing jar merch, you lazy fucking cunt? If you donate enough money to my personal Lloyd's bank account,
Jim will do it.
I'll get it all sorted.
Jim will draw it on like plain t-shirts and crayon. We do have a funny idea for t-shirts, but it's like linked with this video, and it's all, we haven't even started that video. It's just like a concept at the moment. And that would just be such a brilliant way to launch the first. It would be the most jar media way to launch merchandise.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do.
Oh.
Dear roleplay idea, James, or whoever is going to play James if he pussies out,
How did he know?
is supposed to be the future king of England, but his throne has been stolen by his imposter clone, who is played by another member of the cast. They confront each other in a battle to the death, but which James wins? If you're wondering, I saw a 1970s adaptation of The Prince and the Pauper, where the main actor looks like James, but with curly hair and no glasses. So, like, barely like James at all then. So, I'll be the real king and you be the imposter
Okay.
clone.
I'll be in my throne. You walk into the throne hall.
WTF? What are you doing in my throne?
Brother!
What? You're not my brother, you're me. I'm you. I'm the real you, though. Can I have my throne back? Like, really? Don't say no. Don't. Actually, don't say no. I'll be really angry. I'll get my guards.
We have to do a trade.
What do I have to give you?
I was
I'm not
going to say something I can't say.
I'm not going to give you my Blu-ray of SpongeBob.
That's not James. He would have said Blu-ray of
Senna.
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 I was gonna say the
Top
anime
Gear.
where they drift or whatever. You must defeat me in a drift race. And it's
You
like
started
wacky
without me.
races. I'm wacky races, and
I've got
in like a throne vehicle.
Hoplington or whatever it's called. You know the. I can't do it.
Okay, you win. You get the throne.
Thanks, Guy. I get to keep my
you
copy.
next time when I
No, but
obtain.
look, hold
the
out your hand.
rings.
Now I will always know who the clone is.
That's clever. That's a clever ending. Alex writes movies. Everyone, he's a ghostwriter for Christopher Nolan.
Suntime says, can you invite famous Jar fans like Jar Media Shitpost or Serge Raws, the guy who made the Jar anime opening, to the podcast like you did with Colossal or Hot Soup per Skype?
No, they don't have as many followers as any of us, so fuck them basically.
I'm with you on that one. Yeah,
for real though this time, like actually for real.
Yeah, I'd be willing.
Yeah.
As long as they were willing, we can't, hold them
No.
hostage.
If we're willing,
We
then
can't
they're fucking
Harvey
doing it.
Weinstein them into being on the cast.
Why not? We're in a position of authority.
So that's a maybe. Leaning to no.
Maybe leaning to probably never.
Mm.
Not due to us not wanting to, but we're busy people.
Yeah. Oli. These names, I think I need glasses. I can't read them.
Give it here.
Nope. How do you feel about elitist attitude in video games? Do you think it is annoying to be looked down upon due to your status/level in the game?
Yes, it's fucking bitch.
It's fucking bitch.
Yep. I hate it. I play Rainbow Six, and I've reached like a level where people like they're like, okay, this guy will be fine. He might be shit. He might be okay. But if James bought it recently, and I was playing it with him, every single game I started with him, because he was level 1 or 0 or whatever.
They quit.
People tried to boot him.
Oh really?
Every time he got at least one vote to be kicked. But then like he'd do alright, and then
It's sad, isn't it? It's just a video
it's just
game.
like,
You just plug in the remote, you press a few buttons.
but it's
We're
just
not-
fucking
we're not,
annoying
you
because,
know.
like, you were there once too. How do you not
Yeah.
see this? Like, don't you want people to continue playing your game? You're forcing them to leave.
It's the barrier to entry.
It's people like that fucking ruin video game communities.
The small minority.
Like, you can be proud, and you can you could maybe,
Surely your proudness comes from just being able to annihilate everyone because you're so good
Well,
at the
yeah.
game. You don't need to kick away. I always like I remember when playing Halo, it'd be like, oh, there's a new low level who I'm against. Brilliant. I'm gonna win then. I'm gonna just kill them. I'm gonna be able to
But
beat
I mean,
them easily.
you'd be annoyed if they're on your team, right?
Well, if I was that good, I'd be like, yeah. Know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Ross Cancer says, what are some foreign films you like? Excluding English-speaking countries. Isn't that what a foreign film is?
No, excluding ones that do speak English.
Okay. You like Old Boy? What's it called? Old
Yeah,
Man?
I like young... Oh, is it Old Boy? You fucked me this time, Alex. You fucked me. You fucked me. Yeah, I like Old Boy.
Young Man.
That's the only one I can think of.
What about Pan's Labyrinth?
Yeah, I like Pan's Labyrinth, but that was directed by, like...
Guillermo del Toro. It is foreign, though. It's in Spanish, the whole film.
Yeah.
Raw is a good one. French.
I haven't seen Raw, so fuck off.
There's another one I'm trying to think of, but I can't remember the name of it. It's really weird. But it's about like this family where they live in this isolated house in the middle of nowhere, and they're like really controlling of their kids, and they treat their kids like dogs.
Right.
Which was quite interesting. Quite good.
You liked The Hunter, or whatever it's called, with Mads Mikkel.
Was that in whatever language it was?
I think it was foreign.
Yeah, The Hunt.
I've never seen it.
Oh, haven't you? Yeah, The Hunt is really good. I really like that one. Any other major ones? The Handmaidens, whatever. I'll find the full name. I was looking at. That was one that came out really recently, like last year. I think it might just be called The Handmaiden.
I think I've heard.
Yeah, The Handmaiden. Yeah.
But I
that was
haven't
really
seen
cool.
that many foreign movies, to be honest.
Oh, you love anime? That's foreign.
No, I don't. I've watched one anime and I thought it was alright.
Runaway Synth says, did you guys watch Stranger Things Season 2? If so, what did you think of it?
Yes.
Yeah, we've both seen it.
Yes.
I think I enjoyed it more than you did.
Possibly.
You don't really give a shit about Stranger Things, I get the impression. You still watch them all like really close together, and you watch it to
but
the
I mean,
end.
I watched Big Mouth really close together. And
That's different though. Every episode of Stranger Things is close to an hour. Big Mouth's like 25 minutes an episode.
That is true. Season 2 was worse. I'm just already fucking tired of this 80s.
Are you?
Oh, the 80s. Oh, fuck. Oh. But
there's some things I like about it.
I think all the kids stuff is really good.
Yeah. The kids stuff, the cop stuff, like Winona Ryder's stuff. All that stuff I enjoy. What didn't you like then? Because one of my biggest problems is they want this 80s aesthetic, but they insist on using CG
which
all the time for creatures, which, like, imagine how bad it's going to look in 10 years. I was imagining, what if they doubled down on like John Carpenter, The Thing kind of level of practical effects and stuff, and just went nuts with it.
Also, I don't really understand the age that it's trying to
appeal to,
because it's like the alien monster CG stuff is quite violent.
It's very violent
and like scary, but then there's a lot of baby aspects as well.
It's baby but not baby. It's
a lot of the kids say like poo poo and stuff, which I guess isn't appropriate for little kids.
Yeah. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. There was one shit episode that everyone knows is shit. And it was really shit. Like, the more I think about it, because in the moment it's kind of like...
Well, because there are other things that are being juggled, you want to get back to them.
You
understand the point of that episode,
like,
but...
stuff. But, like, the execution of those characters, they're so one-dimensional and fucking lame. Look how cool these guys are.
They are just lame.
They wear all black and they slick their hair up. And one of them's the Joker.
And there's the certain one that had the English accent, like the main one.
Did she have an English accent?
I think so. And she was just a really unlikable character.
Yeah. She tries to... Spoiler alert. She tries to tell, like, a 10-year-old girl to murder a grown man. Just murder him.
Oh my god, are they actually going to do this? Is she actually going to do it? And luckily, because she's Superman, she didn't.
Yeah, well, she's more
goodie.
Superman than Superman
she's a goodie
himself.
Yeah, I think it's enjoyable.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it from beginning to end.
Season 2 is worse than Season 1, though. It didn't have, like... I was sort of plodding along the first season up until, like, the last episode, I think, where the Dex Dog Detective saves the kid and he's, like, having flashbacks to his kid, and it's, like...
The emotional payoff.
That hit hard.
But then, like, the second season has a good scene in the cabin with him, and lots of good scenes with him and Eleven, and that whole dynamic's really good.
Yeah.
I just like all the characters. They're all really likable.
The characters are really good, but
they just need to figure out a way to put them into a situation that is also as interesting as the characters.
Exactly.
Instead of just repeating. While I didn't like the normal little dibbies that are running around, I quite liked the weird smoke monster.
I thought the
thing.
smoke monster was alright.
That was fine.
It's like an alien from Aliens made of smoke.
Yeah, I liked what it could do to, like, the characters.
Yeah.
Is there anything else for you to say about it? I wish they would stop just shoving in 80s songs all the time and rely more on their soundtrack, which is really good when you hear it, but it's so few and far between. It's hardly even used. Bit like Justice League, which we saw yesterday.
Should we talk about Justice League?
You reckon? Just briefly?
Yeah, briefly. Batman didn't have a cool fight scene. 1 out of 10.
It's weird because it's better than BVS, but at the same time, I remember nothing about it, but I remember things about BVS.
I think the action from BVS was better.
Way better, yeah.
But just
excluding the bit with, the Shrek that they fight.
Yeah. But everything that isn't fighting in BVS fucking sucks. But then it's like the opposite in Justice League. Because a lot of the, like, characters, when they're just talking to each other, it works.
Well, I mean, it sort of works. I was imagining, what if Justice League was the first DC movie since The Dark Knight Rises, for example.
What this exact
would it
DC
this exact movie? There hadn't been Man of Steel, there hadn't been BVS, and everything was implied. Their entire history. Would it have been better or worse? Does the baggage of BVS and Man of Steel still weigh down on it?
I think it would be better.
I think it would be better as well.
Like because Superman is actually Superman in this movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, apart from when he first appears, but spoiler alert, Superman's in it. Fucking blew minds just then.
That would be all right. Like that scene you're talking about would be all right if Superman had actually been Superman. You know
they obviously tried to make him Superman before the movie started by having those kids recording him. Which was kind of weird because they're recording him and he's just kind of an asshole. He should have knelt down and been like, kids, you gotta believe in America. Be a good person.
Don't do drugs.
Yeah. Or something like that. But instead he just goes,
look how cool I am. Want to see me shirtless? I worked really hard for this one.
Look at my upper lip.
His weird upper lip. I hated every effect with special effects in, which is the majority of the movie, so I hated most of the movie. Yeah.
You said every effect with special effects in.
No, I didn't.
You fucking absolutely did. If he said that, write in the comments below, IHE, you've been exposed this time.
Keemstar and IHE exposed in one video.
Unbelievable. Where were we?
It's just not very good.
The effects are bad.
The effects are not just bad, they are dreadful.
They are.
Cyborg looks so bad.
It's really weird because right at the end, Cyborg's like armor changes.
He's like with his dad going dibby 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 dibby, like,
and it
morphing.
goes from this like hexagon sort of jagged to the smooth one, and the smooth one looks so much better. So
yeah.
Why didn't they use that for the whole movie?
It has to look like the box with the box that came down. He has to look like the box. He doesn't know how to control his suit. And he's just Iron Man, basically. He's just the Iron Man.
Yeah.
In terms of his powers.
His character is completely different, though.
Yeah, in terms of motivation, he was my favourite one.
Yeah.
I'm such a sucker for anything to do with, like, artificial intelligence and, like, battling with that whole concept thing, you know, like in Blade Runner, where it's like, you know, that kind of, those kind of themes and ideas, but just every time you have to look at him, it makes you want to throw up. Luckily, most of it, he's in a hoodie, where he looks a bit better. But man,
just as bad
when he's like flying around and...
Well, when everyone's flying around, it just looks crap.
That's one thing I don't like about it.
I thought, because Zack Snyder directed half of this, I was expecting it to have like this style, and I was expecting particularly the Flash to have some cool epic scenes.
Yeah.
Cool epic scene. I didn't mean to say that.
He doesn't have one.
And his when he sprints, and it's like...
It looks awful.
It looks really bad. There's this one shot where he's running towards the camera, but it looks like, you know, the 60s Batman, when there's like a green screen behind him, and he's just running on spot.
Yeah.
It looks just like that. And I was like, what the fuck? Because the Flash, like, it would be really hard to show him in slow
whenever it goes slow-mo and he's doing something, that's quite cool.
Yeah.
Like when he pushes Wonder Woman's sword into her hand. That's okay. But like none of it is as cool as Quicksilver from the X-Men movies. None of it. Not even remotely similar.
I kind of like the angle they took with the Flash, with him not being, like, he's not a fighter.
Yeah.
So his job is to just keep people safe, basically.
Well, that's the thing, is like Joss Whedon, no matter what you say about him, he understands like how to tell a story. He understands.
He also understands what heroes represent.
Yeah, he understands what the character motivations and what they're supposed to mean and how they're supposed to interact with each other and like their principles and all that.
Do you think if Zack Snyder had directed all of this, it would have been more like everyone just
that like family that's by the thing wouldn't have been in it?
Yeah.
It just would have been even more of a mess, I think. He doesn't give a shit about like what any of it means.
Does he write his own movies?
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
Because
I think it's probably a mix. He probably does make some decisions.
I don't understand why people don't just tell him, like, he has writers and shit,
and
then just they say direct this scene with this writing and stuff. He shouldn't have power over editing or anything like that. because he
It is bizarre. But then, like, I was saying to you right after we came out, but I remember BVS, despite how terrible it is, it has a look to it.
yeah.
Quite a distinctive look that you can look at that and say, yeah, that's definitely BVS. But this film, I don't know whether it's set design or rush production or I don't know what it is. Post-production weirdness, color grading, could be like anything like that. But it just doesn't pop in the same way. It doesn't have like a standout like level of production in any way. That say what you want about like the experimental weird like art film way he shot Man of Steel, and then the moody way he shot Batman vs Superman, and now this one's just shot like a Marvel movie. It's quite clinical and production
in
line.
The, like fighting stuff, you could see the Zack Snyderisms with like the slowing down.
The slow-mo, yeah. Well, because like without those slow-mo shots, you'd have no clue what's going on. None. Because the choreography for the fights is so appalling. Like the first big fight scene with all the Justice League is so bad. Like I nearly like put my head in my hands and looked away because I just couldn't tell what was going on until the Flash slowed everything down.
Yeah.
It's just so terrible, and the villain is
the villain can fuck
awful.
off.
Just straight out of a Marvel movie. He might as well be the elf from Thor 2 that no one remembers, you know?
Yeah.
Stupid motivation, stupid voice, stupid look, just look like a gummy bear.
That's what I'm the one with the gummy bear thing.
He did look like a gummy bear though, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's too little too late, and it's also trying to be jack of all trades but mastering none of them in like the way you get a little bit of Superman, you get a little bit of Batman, a little bit of Wonder Woman, a little bit of the Flash, a little bit of Cyborg, but none of them are memorable.
You wouldn't have that complaint if they'd have done what Marvel did and had a movie for each of them. Well, not even each of them, but most of them.
I didn't even like Wonder Woman. I don't want a Cyborg movie. I don't want loads of it. I'd be happy with a Justice League movie that's just Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. I think that's enough to work with, you know? And then like with each movie you add like a new one. I had the Martian Manhunter in there, I had Green Lantern, and do it that way instead of shoving in all these characters, most of which are just like plot devices, like the Flash and Cyborg. And we didn't even talk about Aquaman because he's so forgettable. He's completely pointless.
Yeah, he is, which was surprising.
People were raving about how like, oh, Aquaman's really great. He's the best thing about it. If he's the best thing about it, then it's not, you know, very good praise, is it? Because he's incredibly forgettable.
He is. I mean, the
he's the most expendable one.
I reckon the actor did
He was fine with the material,
but
having
fun, like.
Yeah, he was clearly having fun, but he had nothing to work with.
No.
Like, what was his character? He's tough.
He's Wonder Woman, but without
Fishman.
Without the movie to like back him up.
And every time he was on screen, it had the Thor problem, where whenever Thor swings that hammer, I just giggle because it's so stupid. Like whenever he jumps in the water and goes, it's like so dumb.
It's really dumb.
He was pointless. He shouldn't have even been in the movie.
He's one that they should have added later on, because especially like he there's no point him and because they all have their own like job apart from him and Wonder Woman. They do the same thing.
Wonder Woman's the leader, isn't she? She's supposed to be like the commander-in-chief.
Yeah, I guess.
Battle tactician kind of one.
But they both just fight. And Batman's the one that sort of comes up with all the plans and shit anyway, because he doesn't do anything when there are actual fights, apart from like drive a car sometimes.
Which was just an awful scene.
Well, yeah, because the CG looks at it.
I don't even think it is like part of the CG problem. It's just, even with the best CG in the world, it would still be dumb. You said it's just like one of those DC animated movies.
Yeah.
But with actors in it.
Which was sort of like a half compliment, half insult. In that it got all the characters right. Or, well, I mean, Aquaman isn't right, but it did. Superman in this movie was like actually somewhat likable.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he picked up the building and
Well, it made me think, oh, yeah. I've forgotten that, like, I'm supposed to, like, root for Superman
yeah.
and not feel, like, really depressed whenever I look at him. He was so dour in the other ones.
Batman, like, in all the Bruce Wayne scenes where he's not wearing the bat costume, I thought he was, like, actually good. And the way he, like, pissed off Wonder Woman and stuff, it just seemed very Batmanish to me, like, out of one of the animated movies.
It was so short, though. 2 hours long. The pacing was so quick. Like the Flash just running around. It's just running around from A to B to blah, blah, blah. Like, Joss Whedon's just, like... He was pulled in and was like, fix this movie, please. Just fix this movie. And he was like, okay, I'll do what I can, but... And he does his best, and you can see where it is. And some of the humor is just like... It's fine, but it's knowing what came before it that really conflicts for me. Or it's just... You were trying to kill him in the last movie, and now you're making jokes. Something weird about that.
The weird thing... The weirdest joke in it, to me, was Superman picks up Batman and says, do you bleed?
Yeah.
And then he, like, drops him. And Batman says, something's definitely bleeding. And everyone in the audience was like... I just thought, like...
It's not something Batman would say.
No. The Flash should have, like, been standing next to him and been like, something's definitely bleeding.
Yeah. That would have been much more effective.
But that's a Joss Whedonism, where everyone is the funny guy.
Yeah. That's a Joss Whedon problem.
But that was, like, the only time I thought Batman was not being proper Batman. But it's just like the movie needed the action to be good because it's a lot of the movie and it wasn't good. So what's the point?
Yeah.
And the story was fucking balls.
It was just...
I need the three MacGuffins to make one big MacGuffin.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Why can't they just be more creative with it? Because they got to stand out. They're like so far behind Marvel. You can't just copy what Marvel did in 2012 and just...
I don't know why they don't just make, like, good Batman movie, good Superman, instead of thinking they need to rush to the point where Marvel's at. Like, I'm sure if you release just a good Wonder Woman, it can make money.
And it did.
Exactly.
I didn't like it, but it made like loads of money.
Good movie, but I mean...
It critically did well.
Yeah.
It's really highly rated for some reason, but it is.
And all they had to do was just... They didn't have to immediately catch up to Marvel. But if you make good movies, you get money. For the most part.
Unless you make Blade Runner. A fucking masterpiece.
Yeah. But there are certain ones that fall through the cracks.
It's not as appealing as Superman.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Batman.
If you
they have some of the most recognisable characters.
Yeah.
Batman, Wonder Woman.
All they'd have to do is play it super safe for the first ones.
Yeah.
And then...
Get a really talented filmmaker, a really talented writer, put them together, make 3 really good films. If one of them sucks, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, if the Green Lantern film sucks, just forget about it. Don't have him in the Justice League movie. You know, there are ways around what they've done. It's just,
I just don't understand why they needed to rush to the Avengers, because... Like, the Avengers can't make the Avengers money if it hasn't been built up to that point.
The only reason people cared about the Avengers was because of the ridiculous build-up.
Yeah. That
had never been done before. But now we've seen that. We've seen the Avengers. We've seen it, like, 3 times already. So we don't need another one. So no wonder people aren't responding.
Yeah. It is too little too late.
It's just the Avengers, but if you prefer Batman and Superman...
Which
and the action's worse. I personally do as well, but the filmmaking is so much worse.
Yeah.
Because there's
I thought Batman v Superman was kind of poo-poo, but at least it looked like its own movie, which you can't say for pretty much any.
As bad as it was Zack Snyder's terrible vision.
Yeah.
You know, in the same way Man of Steel was
more than like
a product.
Ant-Man.
Yeah. But then you come down to like. BVS is a turd in terms of like...
It's too long. It's
too long. That structurally, it is so screwed.
Yeah.
Like, it makes no sense. Yeah. Like, they don't even use any, like, establishing shots. You just have no clue where you are half the time. It's just really strange, like, technical things like that. and like pacing things and writing. It's just all over the place. Why can't he just reside? Zack Snyder. Poor little Zacky.
Yeah, poor Zacky. Anyway, we've talked about this way longer than we said we were gonna.
Yeah, we did. Couldn't help it. It's been sat there for a bit. Wouldn't recommend it. Don't watch it.
I'm not passionate about it either way. Like, if you want to watch...
I'd forgotten about it.
If you want to watch a Justice League movie that's of the quality of a lot of the animated ones, go for it. Like, this will be on that level.
And loads of the animated films are forgettable garbage in the same way.
Yeah.
Thy Blastoise says, what lesson did you hate the most in school? I hated French. That was my one.
I hated French. Yeah.
Because they always, every week, made you do a test.
They didn't make me do a test.
Let's do a test, and if you didn't get 70%, you got a detention. So I just cheated.
That was your teacher, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, I just cheated every week then.
My teacher didn't really care. But I'd probably say one of the humanities.
Like which one?
Humanities, like RE in year 10 and 11 was shit. I had a good teacher in year 9 and year 8 and 9, I think. Or maybe 9 and 10. Year 11 just sucked, though.
Raymondo321 says, have you ever started a trend? How long did that trend go on for?
Well, you have, I guess.
Started a couple, I guess. The Mars bar one, I guess. That just shows up in like really random comment sections.
Yeah.
Or Derplan.
Derplan is like the obvious one. Because that one was actually everywhere.
I don't know if there are any more. The Totes Ratar went around.
Yeah.
For a while.
I don't know if you can call those trends though.
Yeah, I don't know what they mean. It's just saying pussy and diarrhea. Does that count?
No. No,
I reckon interpreting the question.
Interpretating.
I didn't say that. I saw this question earlier and I was like, wait, what? What is this even asking? Toast Please Joe says, we've seen musicals be inspired by Queen, We Will Rock You, become very successful. Are there any other artists who could work in this situation? I don't really understand what the question is.
It's kind of weirdly asked, but I mean, like Pink Floyd, The Wall. That could easily be like a musical.
Oh, I see. That's what they're asking. It's the fact they said.
Is it the situation bit that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But are there any other artists who could work in this situation? Okay. Yeah, The Wall would be a good one.
Basically, half of Roger Waters' discography.
I reckon you could make a cool one with like Plastic Beach, Gorillaz.
Yeah.
Something like that. Fart by Fahart.
What about what about Pimp a Butterfly? To pimp a butterfly.
The black of the berry.
The black of the berry, the sweeter they
Yeah. Yeah, because like We Will Rock You like isn't really a story, but I guess
as long as it's a concept album.
Yeah.
It can basically work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the quality of the musical depends on the quality of the album.
Yeah. I think we gave some good answers.
Yeah, boy. Look at Argyle.
What are some... Oh, I don't really have any answers for this, so it's pointless asking.
Ask it.
What are some video games you've played that you would considered underrated or practically unknown? For me, it would be 999. That's from CM Saturn. I've never heard of it, so good answer, I suppose.
Dunno. None.
That's why I said to skip this one.
I just wanted to know what the question was.
How did you guys get started with the podcast? Was the first JARCAST on this channel your first one ever?
Yes.
Yeah.
You'd wanted to...
For ages, but just technically couldn't do it.
You were watching Spin.
Yeah. was just obsessed with podcasts.
Yeah.
Like, I'd have the homepage open and would refresh like every 20 minutes to see when a new one would be there. Just completely obsessed. Like, I haven't been as obsessed with that, like, as anything as I was with that at the time.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why. It's mostly thanks to them. People think it's like Red Letter Media and stuff, but I think it's thanks to Spill.
It's definitely thanks to Spill.
It's 100% thanks to them. And it was the coolest like moment in my life when like Carlisle from Spill like tweeted me like out of the blue. And I was like, the only reason like I exist is because of you. And he was like, whoa, mama. James House says, when will Alex confirm whether he is Alex A or Alex B? Check my JARCAST 91 theory for context. What's your opinion, Jim?
Alex A or Alex B? What does that mean? What?
Yamatime27 says, are you ever going to put the cast on a podcast service? Maybe. Anti-Banana Ray says, why didn't Alex study film studies instead of shitty ICT? He seems to have a genuine interest in the topic, and as I am currently studying it now, I would guess that he would enjoy the course. I didn't like study ICT at university.
You've never been to uni.
Like you can't, at least here you can't like do a GCSE or A level in that. I suppose you could do.
You can do
media, but I didn't really want to do that.
That's like,
it's quite rudimentary from what I understand.
I'm pretty sure it's all like news stuff, you know, like making magazine covers or whatever. From what I saw of my peers,
I guess it's different from school to school and all that, but yeah, never wanted to formally do it that much. If you care about something enough, you're just going to learn about it anyway.
Well, yeah, the thing is, like, there's different kinds of passions, you know. There's people that say, I want to be a musician, and they go to like music school, and then there's people that just play music and become musicians.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what, whether they succeed or whether they fail, they just play the instrument.
Yeah.
And like, we've been making gay little movie things
since so long,
since God knows. And you were obviously the one editing the whole time.
That's normally how passions work, I think.
Yeah.
Like, it's always an easy response.
It's the thing with those kind of mediums is that they're really practical, like music and film.
Yeah.
Like, you can learn a lot from just doing it.
Well, that is the main learning tool.
Well, yeah.
The I've seen things like, speaking of Joss Whedon, I was reading a piece about him on some website that were like just filmmaking tips from Joss Whedon. And one of his was, he was struggling to get any directing jobs at the time because he had no experience, no nothing. So he wrote a show for himself as a way to get into the industry. He wrote like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which got picked up, and he used that as his like testing ground to figure out how to be a director and figure out how to write and all this. And it was just from just doing it, you know? Jar Jar Media says, does Alex still think the Hobbit trilogy is as epic as Brian's death scene? I remember he said he enjoyed it in an old OG Jar video, but want to know if his opinion has changed at all. I'm personally not a big fan, but love the book and Lord of the Rings. I'm going to go out there and say I think they're overly hated, the Hobbit movies.
I think they're overly hated as well.
People could put them on the same level as the prequels, and it's like,
they definitely aren't.
Nope.
The only problem with those movies really is the way they look. They're just too long. How spread thin they are, but
if you could take those three movies and put them into one, it would be perfect.
Yeah.
But
I do have a problem with the way all of the movies look. Like, indoors is fine, but when they're out running around killing orcs, and they have this weird thing where the background looks like, it looks like two different films playing over each other. where the background is something else. It's just like
I know what you
failed
mean.
green
It's
screen.
just
It's hard to explain.
the effects work is nothing like the Lord of the Rings, which is a shame.
Because they were forced to like actually film in real places, really.
And Peter Jackson, now he says he prefers to use like CG,
Yeah.
because there's less constrictive, and I understand that. But sometimes the better art comes from the restrictions
Yeah, definitely.
from things, and
Well,
that shows.
Just Star Wars is a perfect example of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like George Lucas's actual vision for Star Wars
Is garbage.
It's so much worse than what Star
Yeah.
Wars actually is.
But like, if you're being completely fair, as much as I like Lord of the Rings, if you're just looking at them as films, they're fine.
Yeah.
They're pretty inoffensive. I can understand if certain elements annoy you, like them adding in that female character that wasn't in the book, or all that kind of stuff.
Which female
But-
character?
The elf. From Lost, that girl,
The elf.
the elf. Yeah,
Well, neither of them were in.
yeah. Legolas wasn't either.
Yeah.
I think as films they're serviceable. They're quite bloated,
Absolutely.
but they're fine. And some of the scenes from them are like perfect. The Gollum scene, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
The Smaug scene, perfect in the second one.
Mm-hmm.
They're full of really good moments, really good acting. There is a certain sort of magic to what Peter Jackson can do. And I just appreciate
I appreciate the soundtrack as well.
Mm-hmm. It was nice to get a bit more of that.
Yeah. Because, like, I don't know if that's a Peter Jackson thing, but every single, like, movie from those series,
Yeah.
the soundtrack is just spot on.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing.
It just improves the movie so much when the director knows how to use music.
Yeah.
It does make a big difference. People were noticing it with Dunkirk. That's the last big one. People
It's
have
such
been
a
praising the
weird
music.
one to
It is a
notice
weird
that.
one to notice it because there are so many good examples. It's because it's Christopher Nolan. He's sort of known for it. Blah blah blah. I wasn't. The thing is, I'd never listened to like the Dunkirk soundtrack, but there are songs from Lord of the Rings I would happily listen to
Yeah.
because they're just like epic pieces of music, that
Well,
are wonderfully like constructed.
Just taking, like, the Hobbiton theme.
Mhm.
It just sort of brings, when you listen to it, it's like you're there.
Yeah.
It encapsulates just that realm so perfectly.
Yeah, it might be like the best soundtrack work like of all time
Yeah.
for a film. It's just so perfect. We have loads of questions this week, which is good. We're nearly at the next camera break. Do you want to wrap it up or keep going? Because we have loads more questions.
Could we carry them into the next episode?
The thread just vanishes.
Does it?
Yeah, I can never find them again.
Alright, let's keep going for a little bit.
If you guys could make an album of 12 tracks... I'm just reading it the way they wrote it.
I'm correcting them.
If you guys could make an album of 12 tracks that define your life, what will the songs and album be called? That's from Owl's Bunker.
That's an extremely difficult question.
Basically,
12
what are your
songs.
favourite songs?
Does it mean your own album? Like, you have to write and make music and name these songs and name the album.
I interpreted it as your 12 favourite songs that you just put on an album. It's like your soundtrack.
Well, it's just, he said, what would you name the album? So I'm thinking it's like our own thing. Either way you interpret it, it's an extremely difficult question. Because I couldn't...
It's one you'd need some prep for,
Yeah,
actually.
I couldn't name my 12 most
Ask it again at a different point.
songs.
Didabadabdova says, what has been your favourite year for movies in this decade? Thing is, I haven't been going to the cinema very much. Maximum of like 4 times every year prior to this one. where I've gone so many times this year in comparison.
Yeah.
I've gone like more this year than the last.
I think I have as well.
It's probably the most times I've ever been actually this year.
This year is pretty
This
good.
year has been amazing. Has been really good. Like, it's so many of the films that I've seen have been like, that was brilliant. That was great.
Yeah.
Whereas I remember a few years back just being like, yeah. Like, I remember going to see like Elysium and being like,
I remember
that was a lot of effort to go and see that mediocre film.
The furthest back I can think where I've got two memories of movies I walked out of just being pumped because they were so good, not including this year. My first one is Spider-Man 2 when I was like 7.
All I remember about that is us being late. That's all I remember.
We were late, yeah.
That's all I remember.
I remember coming out of the cinema out of Chippers and turning up to Mum and being like, that's the best movie ever made.
Really?
Yeah, I remember saying that. And,
still has some of the best superhero stuff.
That movie's
that hasn't been
fucking
topped
awesome. And then there's Mad Max
Fury Road.
Fury Road. When we walked out of Fury Road,
Really?
I was just like,
Was that the last one new? See, for me, my like one was Blade Runner, the latest one.
yeah. Why I wasn't counting this year because like, don't know. I was more pumped walking out of Mad Max because like that movie is just,
It's adrenaline.
yeah.
That's like when I came out of like Blade Runner, it was like, that's why I like movies so
Yeah.
much. That is the reason.
When I came out of Blade Runner, I felt smarter.
It's like a Rick and Morty.
Oh shit! Speaking of, back to Justice League. Did you notice in the background of the scene,
I did.
Rick and
Rick and Morty was playing, and there was also a reference to the Big Bang Theory in that scene.
Really?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. I remember just, apart from the fact I needed to piss so bad throughout the entirety of Blade Runner, I was gripped by every single shot in that movie. It was gorgeous.
Problem is, it's just this overselling thing. Got to be careful about. Because for me, part of it is, I mentioned earlier, I'm a sucker for these themes. Science fiction with this like replicant idea. Like,
I love the whole replicant stuff.
Yeah.
I mean that gripped me in the first movie, and the first movie isn't even like that amazing. It's not.
It's a controversial thing to say because, you know,
It has
it's
a lot of
untouchable.
problems.
Yeah,
It's got a lot of enemies.
It has got a lot of enemies.
But yeah, when you can grip me with a sex scene without just using an erection, like that's
the best sex scene I can think of.
It is the best sex scene ever done in a movie because ordinarily it's just porn.
Yeah.
Like, it serves no other purpose. But in this, it's like it explains how that whole dynamic works.
Yeah. And it's creepy and weird.
Yeah, it's
and
creepy.
It's like, just perfect.
But it looks amazing as well.
Yeah. I've never seen a more visually striking movie.
Yeah.
Maybe I was quite pumped when I came out of Arrival, which is another
I never
film.
saw it, so
That was one of those films where I was like, I don't know if I fully am with this, until there's a moment at the end that's like, you clever bastards.
that's the same director, isn't it?
Yeah. Equally brilliant science fiction. Yeah, I think this year's been particularly good, actually.
Wolverine was...
Logan was a good start.
That's a movie where, like, right at the end, it was like...
Yeah. I was amazed that a superhero movie actually got a reaction out of me.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, God, we've actually had X-Men for a long time. Like, I remember when X-Men 1 came out.
We saw it at the cinema, didn't we?
Did we?
I'm pretty sure we did.
We definitely saw the third one. I remember seeing that one. But it was like, God, this has actually been quite a significant part of like our lives. This character who's been with us. So that was quite a
when
cool.
Was the first one? It must have been like
2001.
2001.
Yeah, so he's been playing that character for a long time.
We must not have seen that at the cinema.
No, we're too young. We saw the third one,
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the third
which
one.
sucked. But
I do remember watching the first one for the first time though.
Yeah, so do I.
It's sort of slowly coming back to me now that I'm forcing out the third one's memories.
Yeah, that was a good start to year, and then there were things like, yeah, there are good ones. I've seen loads.
And there was Justice League.
Yeah, brilliant.
The Emoji Movie.
Yep, I saw that one at the cinema. That's the worst film I've seen this year. Actually, no, Transformers is probably worse, but
you think Transformers
cinema.
is worse than the Emoji Movie?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think so. Because the contempt that Michael Bay seeps is just unmatched. It is unmatched by anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Booby Bo Boo Boo Weglow says, when you were babies, what did you want to be when you were older? Adult?
Yeah.
I wanted to be a baby for life.
Not many people say that, but like, I did just want to be an adult.
Really?
Like, I didn't really give a fuck
What?
doing what, but you want to have that. You want to be independent. You want to be growed up. You want to be.
I wanted to be a paleontologist.
Yes, you did.
But then, as people kept saying, like, it's cool and all, but there are absolutely no prospects.
Yeah.
Because, like, there are, like, 3 hired paleontologists in, like, the whole world currently. Not that practical.
You should have followed your dreams.
Well, the thing is, it stopped becoming my dream after a while.
That's the thing with dreams.
It depends what the dream is. When you're young, your dreams constantly are changing.
Well, yeah. But then, when you're older, your dreams are constantly changing.
Yeah, same.
So...
Too true. And also, now that they're kind of coming down on the fact that dinosaurs acted a lot like birds, it just creeps me out too much. Like, imagining...
Why are they creepier as birds than giant things we don't understand?
No, because they thought they were more linked to lizards.
Right.
And I find lizards less creepy in the terms of the way they move over birds. Can you imagine how creepy
I don't know
dinosaur...
if I agree with you there. Because, like...
If you know, just the motion of how a bird moves.
I can't...
The way their heads are like...
Yeah.
That would be so creepy with like a 6 foot tall, you know,
a velociraptor.
Beast. Yeah.
They weren't even that big.
No, I think you mean like, the Deinonychus.
But I mean, even a velociraptor would be fucking
terrifying.
Yeah,
could still fuck you up probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or something.
Just covered in claws and bird-like features that would just...
They'd be terrifying.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I would feel about that. Also, is Alex enjoying South Park: The Fractured Butthole?
No, The Fractured Butthole.
Yeah. I found out the story of why he called it that.
Oh, really?
Because he wanted to have the word butthole or asshole in the title.
Yeah.
But like the rating boards were like, you can't have that. So he just sat at his desk thinking of just ways to phrase butthole in a way where he could get it through. That's the only reason. It's really good. Really fun. I'm such a big South Park fan. Like I showed you that episode the other day. Really good.
I forgot how short the episodes were.
Yeah, only 22 minutes or something. I think South Park's actually underrated because it has that rap as being...
Well, people think it's
edgy.
just like Family Guy outrage comedy.
Yeah.
But they always have a point.
Yeah. That's the thing that like Family Guy and all that don't understand.
Yeah.
Or when they're so like on the nose with their...
Yeah, if they do have a point, they're just like...
Like sometimes South Park ones are so subtle I completely miss it until I see someone point it out and I'm like, Jesus Christ, yeah, it is. Like it was funny enough and entertaining enough on its own.
Yeah.
But then you learn that and it's like, there's like a whole another level to it.
And it's, on top of that, it's riddled with time fart or whatever. Time fart jokes.
R/tech support. What are your guys' favourite bands right now?
The Mario Orchestra.
That is a good answer because the Mario Odyssey soundtrack is amazing. But what's an actual answer? And include just solo artists as well, not just doesn't have to be bands. Per se.
I've been kind of getting back into Morrissey.
I've noticed
A
you've
little
been
bit.
listening to him a lot.
His new album came out.
Have you listened to it?
I listened to the first song. I was
Yeah.
like, that's alright.
Yeah.
But he released another song after Spent the Day in Bed, and it was crap.
Was it?
Yeah.
I haven't listened.
It's just... There's nothing about it.
We're supposed to be talking about ones we actually...
But I'm-
favourite bands right now.
I'm at a problem with Morrissey because I fucking hate the guy. I think he's a complete twat.
Thing
Hate
is,
might be a
most
bit
like
strong, but-
artists have been twatty.
He's a twat in a different way, though. Like, apparently he supported UKIP. He's been anti-Semitic. He's generally quite hateful. And he's got the whole veganism thing, forcing that down your throat non-stop. So that's kind of a put-off. Whereas Roger Waters, like, he's clearly got an ego,
Mm-hmm.
but everything, all his points I can get behind,
Yeah.
everything he stands for.
So Roger Waters is one.
Roger Waters, obviously.
Roger-
Pink Floyd in general. That's not going to change.
I like Tame Impala a lot. I'm obsessed with him or them.
The thing is, my phone is so shit that I think
Yeah.
I think the Bluetooth is broken on it, and I've got Bluetooth headphones, so I just don't listen to music anymore.
Really?
Only when I'm at home do I listen to music. So I've been listening to music way less now. So I can't
that's
really
lame.
answer that question too well.
I'm really bad at like remembering.
Yeah. The thing is, I just put on an album, listen to it, and then continue with my life. I don't dwell on the who did that album. It's just whatever I was feeling at the time.
I've got like my list up of Oh yeah, I'll just quickly go through some. I'm listening to Talking Heads a lot. Parcels are good. They've had some songs produced by Daft Punk. Disaster Piece, Poolside, Stone Roses, New Order, Pink Floyd, Cut Copy, Thundercat. That's probably enough. I've got Kevin Spacey in here still. Oh, LCD Sound System, Run the Jewels, The War on Drugs. That'll do. That man guy fella.
Man, boy, man. Right. Next question. And
Some of the names on here. I'm not gonna ask his question, but it's just called James is a racist.
that's a fucking really old quote.
Really old, yeah.
Jesus.
Martin Gazazm. What is the fastest you have ever completed a game, or have you ever attempted a speedrun a game? We've attempted speedruns
Me.
on the Master Chief Collection.
Oh, we have.
Yeah. Because there are achievements for doing it in a certain amount of time.
Right. I don't know if...
We did it for half of them.
Did we?
Yep.
I remember doing certain, like, speedrun tactics just to get through Halo 2 on Legendary. That
That's
game
one of
is
your
so
memes.
fucked. The
Ackman's
fastest
making
game
a video on
I've ever finished there was Portal 1. I did it in like 50 minutes.
it. 50 or 15?
50. Which, I mean, it's nothing compared to like the 3
Mm.
seconds people finished it in. But I mean, I was only young at the time.
I speed ran like Ori a few times. See how quickly I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Got some pretty good times on that one. Fastest you have ever completed a game. It's not normally my MO.
No.
Is
And
that
it depends on the game as well, because like...
Like, why would anyone want to fast pass Wolfenstein 2, for example?
Or Skyrim.
Yeah, it's like, what do you even achieve? You just get to do the terrible last boss, and that's it. Super Prog Frog. What I want to say first is thank you for answering my question on the last 4 funnies. The question about bullies. I know that it had some impact on some of the jarlings that watched it, and I'm grateful for what you guys had to say. Anyway, here's my question for this La Epic and Derpy Yogs Pog. Do you think when YouTubers try to do other types of media, especially music and books, that they are able to be successful? I ask this because I recently finished George Miller's Francis of the Filth book, and I thought it was pretty bad. But when I look at his music, it is slowly but surely becoming successful because it's generally good. I think the track record for YouTubers breaking out into other forms of media isn't really the greatest at the moment.
No, normally it sucks.
Well, because so much of it is just a cash grab.
I feel like it's the kind of thing where they're just like, I'd like to be a rapper someday. Let's take.
Well, it's like,
KSI for
well, now I
example.
have the audience.
Well, yeah, now I can
Now
do
I can
it
sort of
and
do whatever I want.
definitely not fail.
Yeah.
I'll just do this and I won't really care about
No
it.
risk and loads of reward. Why would you not do it?
Weird, but they probably have wanted to for a while, but they're not that passionate about it. It's just been like a sort of dream.
Well, now the YouTuber thing is to become a singer.
Well, yeah. That's my example.
And it's like, if it's not even singers though, because you don't actually have to have singing talent to be like a
you just
music
scream
artist.
into a mic.
Yeah, you just do diss tracks and.
No, one person that I've been extremely surprised by their musical ability is a small YouTuber named Nakey Jakey. And
yeah, I think I have 1 or 2 of his songs on Spotify.
one of his he's done five songs I think now.
Yeah,
Maybe less, maybe more. And I think one of them, I think, like, is just okay. But then all the rest are like, they're all singles quality fucking greatness. So check that boy out, that hot boy.
I can't really comment on like Filthy Frank because I've never really been a Filthy Frank kind of guy. I don't care about Pink Album, and I don't care about like.
I don't find it funny, his lyrics and stuff.
No,
That's just me. And
it doesn't fit my sense of humour either.
no, and his serious stuff, I don't think
I went on it and it was like, I guess fine.
Yeah,
I'd never listened to
it's-
anything like that.
it just sounds like a lot of pop, hip hop
Yeah,
kind of shit.
yeah.
You know?
I think it's fine, but it's resonating with people. It's nothing like it is in another league compared to like, you know, Keemstar diss track.
Absolutely. But I mean, no, Keemstar's song is fucking good. That's on the same league as Joji, for sure, no doubt. But Nakey Jakey is above both of them. His music has its own sound, and like he does do like rapping stuff, but he also like sings as well. And his beats aren't just fucking Drake
Yeah.
SSDD shit.
Yeah, it's just God. Why write a book if you don't have an idea for a book?
No, I know.
Why make a movie if you don't have an idea for a movie? It's like the reason all these YouTuber movies sucks is because they propose the idea of, we have the ability to make a movie. We have this amount of money because of who you are. We can make a film. Do you want to make a film? And I'm not surprised that they say yes. Everyone wants to be in a movie.
Yeah.
But that's not the best place to come from.
No,
If
the thing with all these creative medias is that you need to have an inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Take the best albums, the best movies, the best books. They come from this place in a person that's like they care so much about the subject or
Yeah.
whatever it originated from that it builds itself into this.
Yeah, like look at Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
George Lucas even. He was obsessed with like samurais movies and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
he turned it into his own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Popularized that.
And then take like "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
You can't do it the other way around.
no.
It just doesn't work.
I reckon that's why a bunch of albums have like the single is really good, and then the rest are just like, because the single is their idea, the thing they've really wanted to write a song about.
Yeah.
It's not as financially beneficial to just release one song.
Yeah. So they try and write other things around the same concept, but it just doesn't resonate.
Separate things that they don't really care as much about.
Yeah. That makes sense. Then it's like you just because you're good at making YouTube videos doesn't mean you're good at the other things.
No.
It doesn't mean you're good at writing songs. It doesn't mean you're good at writing movies. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that you can do whatever. Ascend. People think that like YouTube is like a place, and then it's like, right, now I've done YouTube now, let's do the next level. You level up to Music Man, then you level up to Movie Man, and it's like, no, you do what you want to do with it. You don't have to, like jump to another medium just because, well, I've done that one now. Yeah. Like, how many other people do that? Like, look at, we was speaking about Morrissey. He tried writing those books that were just awful. Yeah. Like, a lot of the time, people who are good at their thing are good at their thing. And when they try and jump around and do different things, there are exceptions to that. But a lot of the time, you're just not built for everything. You know? You don't have to be good at everything. I'll do this big fat one. From James House. Again. All these names are about James. This is a bit of a long, self-indulgent one, boys, so buckle up. I very much enjoyed the last Posdact, especially the part where you discussed past experiences with bullying. I myself am currently experiencing a situation where a group of fuckboys in the year below me are being irritating, degenerate, subhuman cretins on my way home from school. I have no real way to avoid or stop them, so I resorted to waiting for them to get bored of it. However, if they push it too far, I will not resist from fucking them up. I've always found the way Jar talks about issues like this more relatable and helpful. It helps me remember that in a couple of years' time, I won't have to worry about this anymore, and I'll probably be looking back and making jokes. The down-to-earth way Jar talks about this stuff will always ring more true to me than pandering, exploitative garbage like 13 Reasons Why or 21 Pilots. Over the past year, Jar has really made me feel more at home in my own skin. Like James, I suffer from a speech impediment, a stammer in my case rather than a lisp. And like Ruben and Alex, I still collect Lego sets. Like, why have you put that in the same? The JARCAST is far more helpful to its viewers than a lot of people give it credit for. My question to you is this: do you think secondary school relationships are completely pointless and not worth engaging in? Are they really as pitiful and pathetic as a lot of people paint them to be? What does he mean relationships as in like...
Well, clearly high school relationships are kind of important because that's essentially where, obviously other than us, we get the rest of Jar.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they are.
They're definitely important to some extent, but the thing is, they're going to be more important while you're there.
Mm-hmm.
Once you leave there, then it's like...
Well, then you learn who the real...
Yeah.
The real OGs are.
Mm-hmm.
Not such a big question. I've got to look back into it to see what else I had to answer. Do people paint them as pitiful and pathetic?
What, relationships and... Does he mean...
Well, that's the thing. Like relationships could mean friends as well as like...
Ow.
Like romantic things.
Yeah. It's romantic things aren't pointless either.
No.
I mean, it depends who you are.
Yeah, it's completely down to you because like everyone is developing and changing and going through the same thing but at completely different rates. Yeah. So everyone is at a different point. So if you happen to line up with someone else and you can do whatever, then it's fine.
But just don't be naive enough to think that like, well, I've got this one girl, I'm going to be with her forever.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, part of it is, once school ends, a lot of people go to university. They go all around the country or whatever, and you can't sort of restrict your life and prospects for the sake of a relationship necessarily. There was another thing in there as well. Oh yeah, it was about the speech impediment. I find that I actually get a bit of a stutter.
Yeah, same. I mean,
Not when I'm on mic for some reason though. It's weird. Like if I've got to speak to people I don't know, is normally what it is. Like even places like the supermarket, if I've got to say something and I just get it wrong, I'll say something and I'll stutter.
Yeah. And then once you get it wrong once, it chain reactions. You're like, fuck, I fucked up. And then your brain is just back in that sentence. And your mouth is trying to talk as fast as they are.
Yeah.
No, I sort of get that as well, but I think I often can talk faster than I think. Well, not faster, but like I've got all these ideas going through my head at one point and get a Freudian slip every now and again.
Oh yeah. My big problem is if I like have an idea for what I'm gonna say and I meticulously like plan
that just
in my
makes
head
it way worse.
what I'm gonna say, like down to the word, down to every inflection and everything
down
like
to,
that.
The pacing of the sentence.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
everything.
So then you go up and you say it, and then you just forget all of it.
Yeah, you just say something
and that's what makes
different.
it. Yeah, that's what makes it happen.
That almost happened the other day when we went to Subway. I said to you, "I'm gonna get a vegetarian one," and I almost just said, "Can I have a beef supreme or whatever?" Because I just read one.
That's because Subway is a horrible experience.
Subway is a horrible experience. Just don't fucking talk to me.
It's too stressful.
Just assume
there
what I
should just
want.
be a button. You go over to it and go, "I want," and then they just give it to you.
Supreme fast food will be when you can just press a button and then somebody gives it to you. Preferably less dibbies. Were there any more questions within that question?
I think that's most of it. Anyway, we've gone for so long.
Oh shit.
I mean, it is midnight for us, so.
Yeah, it is. Right. Sounds like it's time to end the Dibby cast.
Every now and again we do a long one. I don't think James and Ruben like doing the long ones very much. After a certain amount of time they get hungry.
James likes doing the long ones. Because Ruben would live here, I don't think it really
matters that much.
That's just
yeah.
him.
Alright, so thanks for watching episode 92.
92.
Dibby dibby bo dibby dibby.
Tune in 8 episodes for an absolute definite amazing episode 100 that we're going to do something amazing for. Cheers guys.